Welcome back, everybody. It's Wednesday, July 30th, 2025. Born on this date in 1946, late NASCAR driver Neil Bonnet of Hueytown. Today is National Father-in-Law Day. Celebrate by, getting a haircut. He noticed that last time you must have got up before the barber was finished. Today, let's talk about college football whiskey deals, how our wealthiest suburb ranks nationally, a promising new podcast dropping today, and more. I'm Mike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. Hello, fellow Alabamians. I used to love picking up that newspaper in the morning with a cup of coffee. Now we're living in a world of text alerts, emails, and social media shares. Well, if you miss sitting down with that in-depth local reporting, there's no need to miss it anymore. Just subscribe to the Huntsville Times, Birmingham News, or Mobile Press Register digital editions. You'll get a new daily digital edition in an email link, or you can use an app to download the digital edition each day to your smartphone or tablet. You'll also get access to all AL.com stories, plus subscriber-exclusive newsletters and Kevin Skarbinski's take on sports. Down in Alabama listeners, get your first month free by going to al.com/digital subscription/exclusive and entering the promo code DIAPOD. Down in Alabama Pod, you get that. It's just $15 a month after that. You keep getting in-depth daily news, and you'll support the reporting that keeps Alabama informed. Thank y'all so much. Now more podcast. It hasn't been all that long ago that alcohol was not served at college football games. Not out in the open, anyway. I didn't say anything about consumption. It was just 2019 that the SEC even allowed its member schools to decide whether or not to sell beer at ball games. Now, whiskey distillers are partnering up with college football programs, and some Alabama universities are on board. AL.com's Lawrence Specker reports that Conecuh Ridge Distillery has announced partnerships with the Auburn, Alabama, and Troy athletics departments. The spirit that will be associated with the colleges is a brand with a history in Alabama, Clyde May's Whiskey. Clyde May was a World War II veteran and a moonshiner who did time for distribution back in the early 70s. Particularly in Troy, there might be some folks in the stands who've been familiar with Clyde May's Whiskey since well before it was legal. May cooked his brew in Bullitt County, just a few miles from the city of Troy. May's grandson, L.C. May, is now a national brand ambassador for the company that now owns Conecuh Ridge Distillery. He said, quote, "Troy has always been part of Clyde May's story. Our family's roots run deep here," end quote. Now, during the legal era, Clyde May's whiskeys have been distilled out of state, but a new Conecuh Ridge Distillery is expected to open in Troy later this year. We have an update on a story that we updated yesterday as indictments continue to pour in from the case of Tony Mitchell. Mitchell was the man who died after spending time in the Walker County Jail. Allegations against the suspects involve abuse and neglect. AL.com's Carol Robinson reports that an indictment unsealed Tuesday charged 5 more jail workers in connection with Mitchell's 2023 death. That brings the total number of people indicted in the case to 25. The latest charges were against 5 medical workers. They alleged conspiracy against rights and deprivation of rights. Gulf Shores International Airport has announced a twice-weekly nonstop flight to Nashville, reports AL.com's John Sharp. The airport has now announced 9 destinations since it opened in May. The Nashville flights are scheduled to start in November and run through at least mid-February. Airport Director Jesse Fosno said he expects it to be popular enough to continue beyond February. He also said that a 2023 study showed an average of 380 people traveling between the two cities each day. They get a chance to avoid that 14-hour drive, and it won't hurt the rest of us to take some of those vehicles off Interstate 65. Every little bit helps out there. For your listicle of the day, you'll be relieved to know that Mountain Brook is in the top 30 wealthiest suburbs in the U.S., according to Go Banking Rates, reports AL.com's Diane Moy. Mountain Brook, which is south of Birmingham, landed at number 30 on the list with an average household income of just over $300,000 and an average home value of just over $1 million. That's more than 4 times the state average in both of those categories. But there's always someone out there with a little more. At the top of the list was Scarsdale, New York, a tough-sounding New York City burb with an average household income above $600,000 and an average home value of around $1.2 million. Go Banking Rates placed 50 suburbs total. No other Alabama burb made the list. And today, the first 3 episodes of a new AL.com produced podcast drop. American Shrapnel takes us back to the manhunt for Olympic Park bomber Eric Rudolph. Now, we talked about that topic in the upcoming podcast with a couple of producers of that show during our July 11th episode of Down in Alabama, right here in this podcast. So you can check that out for behind-the-scenes stuff related to American Shrapnel. Now, I realize we've had the trailer for American Shrapnel here as an ad previously, but I wanted to play it back one more time to help y'all decide whether you wanted to jump over there and listen. Here's the trailer.
Atlanta, 1996.
There's a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
They'd only get 20.
The largest pipe bomb America had ever seen tore through a crowd at the Atlanta Olympic Games.
Then a Georgia abortion clinic.
Then a lesbian bar.
2 years, 3 bombs, no answers.
Until Birmingham, where he bombed another abortion clinic.
A cop dead, a nurse maimed.
And the blood was still on the wall. It never came off. Each year, pieces of his uniform would come up when it rained.
But finally, no witness.
He saw it all.
So began the largest manhunt in American history, the search for Eric Robert Rudolph.
He knew the area. He's like, this is where I can hide, and nobody's going to find me.
American Shrapnel is the story of a homegrown terrorist.
He's got very cold, dark eyes, and I don't think he was remorseful in the least.
He would either be famous or infamous. But he was either going to do something great or he was going to shock the hell out of everybody.
It's the story of victims and survivors, of heists and unlikely heroes, of sympathizers, and a part of America that embraces violence in the name of God.
I think there's no way he was not somehow assisted in his years on the run a little bit.
Of course, he had help. Someone should have gone after those people.
American Shrapnel, a new series from AL.com, is coming soon to your favorite podcast app.
I just think the son of a bitch was mean. I think he was evil. When he opened his eyes, he knew that there was no soul behind him. None.
Again, the first 3 episodes of American Shrapnel drop today, wherever you get your podcast. Tell them Mike sent you. And if you want to hear the producers talk about their work, check out the July 11th episode of this podcast. Hey, if you want to sound off on anything in the news or that's going on in Alabama, leave a message on our phone line at 205-304-1814. If we get enough action on that line, we might be able to use it in a listener commentary segment or two. Hey, I don't get to have an opinion here. That's the deal with this career, but you get to have an opinion for me. Thanks for listening to us. We'll be back in the morning. Until then, as always, y'all come by and see what we're doing anytime you want to on the internet at al.com.